We're Byron and Jill, two hands-on people with big dreams. In 2024, we jumped headfirst into our off-grid dream and purchased a 100-acre block at Mount Binga. After relocating here in 2025, our big goal right now is transforming this incredible century-old Ashgrovian Queenslander into our forever home. This isn't just a renovation, it's a complete transformation, a huge project demanding a lot of energy and time, and it's going to take everything we've got. And we'd love to have you along for the ride. Every challenge, every triumph, every step of the way.
Welcome back to another episode of Off Grid at Mount Binga. Not sure if you guys can see this, but we've had a bit of rain. It's raining right now. And when you get a rain day, you feel like having a day off, sitting around doing not much, but when you've got a project like ours, there's plenty to do. So here I am, slowly but surely making my way up to the house, past the bees. Slow, dreary rain. But I've got a job to tackle inside today. A little bit different. We're trying to get it buttoned up. So there's one little spot where rain still gets in. We'll see if we can't seal that up for good. Anyway, that big long drive up to the house is finally finished. Here we are. So the section of the house I'm trying to button up today is that gable there. It's been open to the elements for a while now, but it might be time to seal it up and keep the rain out. Most of this work I'll be able to do inside, and I'll take you guys with me. Well, I'm up here in quite an awkward spot, but this is the gable I pointed to before, and this is the area that I haven't sealed up yet. Like I said before, we've got a bit of rain coming in, so we can't be outside hooking into the walls or doing that button up out there. So we're just going to get into this little spot. It's a tricky spot. It's a little hard spot to film, so bear with me. I'll do what I can, and we'll work through it. We'll get it done. Let's start by doing some measurements up here, working out what we need to do. Obviously we need to frame up a triangle shape. Because I'm on my own, I think it might be easier for me to build this whole frame down on the ground, get it up here into location, and then nail it off then. We could even put the air cell on it while it's on the ground. It's just a bit of maths we've got to do to make sure everything's right. But we'll work through it. Now, let me show you. Bear with me. It's going to be awkward. But this is the gable that we have to close in. Now it's a big triangle shape. So what I need to do first is measure a bottom plate. Then I need to find the middle and measure a height. And that way we can lay it out on the ground, cut our studs on the ground, nail it together on the ground, air cell it on the ground, and then fingers crossed try and pass it up through the ceiling space here. That's where I'm going to build it, down there on the ground. Pass it up through here, very awkwardly no doubt, and try and get it in. Let's get some measurements. Okie dokie. First thing we need to do is find the middle, which we've got at the top, but we do need to plumb that down. So when I measure along the bottom plate here, I can find center. So that's sitting there, and that's there. So there's my center point, right there. That's pretty easy. Now I've got that marked on this bit of timber here, and what I'm going to do is mark it straight onto this level. As long as I don't move this level, it's going to be okay. Now, because I can't measure this in one go by myself, I'm going to measure half the triangle. Down at the right height. Into that point there. So I've got 1915. To the right, and on the left, I've got 1915. So that makes everything pretty straightforward. So all we have to do is times that by 2, and that's the length of our bottom plate. Now the only other thing I need to consider now while I'm up here is the height. And I've got 715 height. 715 is our height in the middle, and 1915 is one side of the triangle. Okay, so we've got the measurements, and I'm just thinking as I go. So it might be easy if I follow the join in these planks on the floor. We can use that as our bottom of the triangle and our center point, and we can draw our triangle on the ground here. We're not going to completely draw it in there, we're just going to make it light. We might even flick a chalk line, and then there we can fill it out with some timber. So let's pick this board here, and we'll pick a center point. That center point can be anywhere. Along this board I'm going to mark 1915. Right there. Now the other side. Right there. From that board, 715. Right to that board. What are the chances of that? Now we need to make sure that we're square off that center line. And we're very close, and it's going to be right there. Okay, so we're going to flick some blue lines on the floor. It's only in chalk, so it will sand out easily. That's our furthest point of the triangle there. There's our bottom point. Up to our apex there. Other side of the triangle, across that center point, right there. So, if you can see what I see, there's our apex. Triangle runs down to there. It is hard to see. I'm sorry about that. Once we get some framing pine in here and lay it out, it'll be much clearer. Let's do that. Okay, so that's our triangle right there. Fingers crossed it works. Before we go and nail it together, we need to make sure that we have our 715mm rise, which we do, and we've got 1915 to halfway, so double that gives us our full length. From there, we need to just put a few tack nails in it, and then we can go through and mark our studs. I'll show you a bit more of that in detail. Let's whack some nails in. Now I have our center line already on the ground, so I can transfer that up. From there, I need to cut 2 blocks right in the middle. It's actually easier to measure it this way. Make sure our bottom plate's sitting in the right spot. And we can go 638. We'll actually go 636 times 2 squared along. 636 times 2 squared along. Now we already have our long point from the last cut, which are the top plates. So we hook onto that, 636, that's our square point. We can do exactly the same with the other piece. Now that long point is 636. that long point up in here will create an apex or a point, which is perfect for what we need here. And that angle there is the same as the roof pitch, which is 22 degrees. So I can nail these together. And we can nail it in. Okay, now we're starting to paint the picture. Should fit up there, yeah? Fingers crossed. Let's keep going with it. Now we have our center line. We can mark out 400, 800, 1200 and so on from the middle line. That will work for any sheet or any material that we want to clad it with. All sheets come in 2, 4 or 12. So no matter what we do here, if we go multiples of 400, we should be pretty right. Four hundred. 400. 400. We can transfer that mark up with the T-square to the top plate. Just like that. 0, 4, 8, 12, and whatever's in the corner it makes up. So we'll do the same back this way. 4, 8, 12. Now 16 is right down into the corner. Same as before. Square them up. Now all we need to do is cut 2 blocks. I'm going to double all these blocks up, just so we've got plenty of meat up there for cladding, for trimming, anything in the future. It's only an extra little piece of timber, so it's definitely worth doing. I've got 490. $340. 190. 490. 340. 190. Same as before. 490. Right in the middle. We'll double the block up. We'll cut through that line at 22.5 degrees or 22 degrees, and that'll do both blocks at once. From the middle, 490.
Smithy. Lay you down, boys. Huh?
Okay, there's our triangle. It's not too heavy, so I shouldn't have much trouble trying to get it up through that hole before I pass it up to myself. I want to make sure I can get some air cell on the outside of this. That's really what's going to keep the water out for now. So I'll roll it over this way. I'm on the outside of it, if you know what I mean. I'll lay it down. Let's get some air cell on it. Okay, we're ready. That was a win. Don't mind the grunting. Well, I hope you can see me alright up here. We got it up. A little bit of struggling. A bit of grunting. You could hear that. So now we just got to nail it off. We've got a rafter right there on the outside, which forms up the gable on the outside. It also holds the soffit or the eave up on this gable at the top. It's all tone groove out there, which is quite a nice feature. But what we need to achieve now is we need to be set back off that rafter in the right position, plumb down here. We can nail it off. Then we can get it square over on that side where you are, and we can also get it square down there, get it plumb, and we can call that a win. Let's see if we can get that sorted. We're getting very close. Now I'm going to have to shift the ladder. Give me a second. Alright, as you can see, it's very awkward, so thanks for hanging in there. We got that little stud wall built, framed up and installed. That's going to keep most of the weather out for now. Till we move on, we can get some cladding up there. I'm going to go along now and whack some screws in, jump outside on the roof, have a look, do some trimming if I need to. Let's meet out there. Just like that, she screwed off. Let's go outside and have a look. Okay, that's a little gable buttoned up. Not many people have seen up here. It's pretty worse for wear. So there's going to be some sanding, a lot of paint prep, new gable features, a lot of prep on these fascias, bit of bog. We're not going to replace them, they're all solid except for that little bit, but that can be patched up. The most hammered thing up here is this roof over the bay window. It's a little flat roof, just like the one over the front porch where we've been working. Don't mind the rain, but it's all worn out. There's rusty holes through it. That's why water comes out of the ceiling on the porch. But we'll get to that, no doubt about it. We're going to get to all these jobs. We love a challenge here at Qlder. Absolutely love a challenge. So while it's still pouring rain, I'm going to pull up here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.